due to a recent shortage in produce availability, we're going to do a quick practical video, and this is going to be on installing LED lights into my gun safe. Now, if you take a look up here, this gun safe was not a terribly expensive item. It came with a motion detecting light strip that's not that great. It's just battery powered light sensing, and the bad part is that it's held on by a magnet. So every time I reach in for something in the top row here, I end up knocking the thing off, and eventually it's hit the ground enough times where it's become intermittent in its abilities. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this thing out of here. We're going to take these discount LED strips that we got off Amazon, and a staple gun, and we're going to set them in. And that should have a dual purpose of both illuminating the safe and producing a slight amount of heat, and that should keep condensation from forming on the guns inside. So let's do it. Although this was a discount safe, I did get one that has the plugs and the USB ports on the interior. Although if you're really interested in doing this mod, you can certainly drill a hole in the side of your safe and run a plug through there. You may have to attach the outlet on the other side, but that's just 2 wires. And this particular one came with a dimmer switch, and well, that's not necessary for our needs since I'm just going to leave it on all the time. That's what we have available to us. I've got the interior height of the safe at 53 inches, and it's 18 inches across. And we'll add all that up, and we'll do the sides and the top, and if I have enough left over, I'll run it across the bottom as well. Ooh, cat hair? Yeah, you can see that Chibi's snuck in here and used the interior as a scratcher as well. So, yeah, I guess none of that should be a surprise. Alright, I got my light strip, my staple gun, my needle nose, and a desk lamp for some lighting. And the only real risk I'm taking here is that this is the same staple gun I used for stapling targets at the range, and width was never a consideration, so it is only slightly wider for the staples than the light strip itself. So I'm going to have to be super careful with that. And rather than have you guys listen to all the grunts and groans as I try and staple this up into the gun safe, we're just going to skip that part. You can assume it went great. That's like a felt with a wood backing, so I've already tested a couple staples on it, and it seems to hold nicely. And it sinks deep enough in so that they won't pull past the LEDs. Anyway, if you hear from me again before there's a finished product and a beautiful illuminated gun safe, obviously that means there was a problem. Here we go. Great news, folks. It worked. And here, brilliantly, up the sides, around the top, and through to the bottom is a light strip. I had to tuck the end. I could have cut it a little shorter, but I decided to tuck the end in there in the corner. That doesn't seem to be hurting anything. And then eventually I can get some screw-in wire looms and screw in these loose wires from the dimmer and the DC converter. There you have it. My lighting problems brilliantly solved.
So I use only the iron sight. I see, I think something's wrong with that red dot. Let me turn it off.